You said no to plans, you didn't text back fast enough, someone looked at you funny, and somehow you feel like it's your fault. Sound familiar? That weird, nagging guilt that shows up even when you literally did nothing wrong? You're not crazy. And you're definitely not alone. There's actual psychology behind why this happens. And once you understand it, it changes everything. Let's get into it. First, what even is guilt? Like actual psychological guilt, not just, oops, I dropped my pizza guilt. Guilt is your brain's way of flagging a conflict between what you did and what you believe you should have done. The problem? Some people's brains are wired to fire that guilt alarm way too easily, even when there's no actual conflict. And that's where it gets interesting, because this isn't random. There are very specific reasons why some people feel guilty constantly, and others barely feel it at all. Reason number one, and this is a big one, you were conditioned to feel responsible for other people's emotions. Maybe growing up, when someone in your house was upset, it was somehow your job to fix it, or at least not make it worse. So your brain learned early, other people's bad feelings equal your fault, and that lesson got hardwired in. Now as an adult, when anyone around you is unhappy, your brain automatically fires the guilt signal, even if you had nothing to do with it. This is called emotional responsibility conditioning, and it's one of the most common roots of chronic guilt. Reason number two, you have an overactive conscience. Some people, usually highly empathetic people, have a conscience that's basically running on overdrive 24/7. You don't just feel bad when you do something wrong, you feel bad when anyone does something wrong. You feel bad when things just go wrong in general. Your brain is constantly scanning for anything that could potentially be your fault, and it finds things, even when there's nothing there. Psychologists call this a hyperactive moral monitoring system. Basically, your internal judge never clocks out. Reason number three, people-pleasing. If you've spent most of your life trying to keep everyone around you happy, saying yes when you mean no, shrinking yourself so others feel comfortable, guilt becomes your brain's default response to any boundary you set. Said no to something? Guilt. Prioritize yourself? Guilt. Didn't respond fast enough? Guilt. Your brain has literally been trained to treat self-preservation as a crime. And here's the really wild part. The guilt isn't just a feeling, it physically affects you. Studies show that chronic guilt activates the same stress response as actual danger. Elevated cortisol, tension, anxiety, even disrupted sleep. Your body is treating "I didn't text back fast enough" the same way it treats a bear chasing you, which is a lot, for something that isn't actually happening. So how do you know if your guilt is real or if it's just your brain misfiring? Here's a simple test. Ask yourself, did I actually do something that violated my values? Not someone else's expectations, not what they wanted from me, my actual values. If yes, that's real guilt. It's useful. Listen to it, make it right, and move on. If no, that's false guilt. And false guilt is just anxiety wearing a costume. It's your brain trying to protect you from social rejection by making you feel like you did something wrong, so you'll fix it, apologize, and keep everyone happy. Which in caveman times was actually useful. Being rejected from the group meant you literally died. So the brain learned to avoid anything that might upset people. But in 2026, saying no to plans does not mean you die. Your brain just hasn't caught up yet. So what do you actually do about it? Step one, name it. When you feel that guilt creeping in, literally say to yourself, this is false guilt. Naming it breaks the automatic loop. Step two, reality check. Ask yourself, who actually got hurt here? What rule did I actually break? If the answer is no one and none, you have your answer. Step three, stop apologizing for existing. Seriously. Every time you apologize for something that isn't your fault, you're reinforcing to your brain that you did something wrong. Step four, practice setting one small boundary a day. Not a huge one, just something tiny. Your brain needs to learn through experience that boundaries don't end relationships. And step five, recognize that other people's emotions are not your responsibility. You can care about someone without being the reason they feel everything they feel. Because here's what nobody teaches you growing up. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to say no without writing an essay explaining why. You are allowed to exist without constantly managing how everyone around you feels about it. The people who genuinely care about you, they don't need you to shrink yourself to stay. And the ones who only stick around when you're putting yourself last, that tells you everything you need to know. That guilt you've been carrying around, quietly apologizing for things that were never your fault, staying small so nobody gets upset. A lot of that weight was never yours to begin with. You picked it up so long ago you forgot it wasn't yours, and you can put it down. Not all at once, that's not how it works, but slowly, one boundary at a time, one no at a time, one moment of choosing yourself without immediately feeling like a terrible person for it. It gets easier, I promise. If this hit a little too close to home, drop a comment below. I genuinely want to know if this is something you deal with. You'd be surprised how many people are carrying the exact same thing. And if you want more videos breaking down the weird stuff your brain does without telling you, subscribe. New video every week. I'll catch you in the next one.